At my best friend's bachelorette party, she got drunk, pointed at me, and screamed, "Nobody would ever want someone like her." Everyone fell silent as I sat there, heart racing. Later that night, her groom confessed something to me that made me realize she would never make it to the altar. I never thought I'd be telling this story. It still feels surreal. I grew up in Tallahassee, Florida. Pretty normal childhood. My best friend since middle school, I'll call her Brooke, was the kind of girl everyone noticed. Loud laugh, blonde curls, eyes that could lock in a room. She was popular in school, always surrounded by people. I was the quieter one. I liked books, writing, small groups, but somehow we clicked. We were inseparable from 7th grade on. Over the years, Brooke got into event planning, and I started working in logistics for a small company. Steady job. Nothing flashy. I dated here and there, but didn't settle down. Brooke, though, she always had a boyfriend. Always had someone chasing her. When she got engaged to Derek, I was happy for her. Genuinely. Derek seemed solid. Steady. Worked in IT. Calm personality. Maybe even too calm for Brooke, but he treated her well, and she seemed happy. She asked me to be her maid of honor about a week after he proposed. I remember the exact words. "If you're not next to me at the altar, I'm not walking down." That meant a lot to me. I didn't hesitate. Said yes on the spot. For 6 months, I helped her plan everything. Bridal shower, color schemes, calls with vendors. I did a lot of the heavy lifting, to be honest, because she was always too busy or too stressed. I didn't mind. That's what best friends do, right? Then came the Bachelorette weekend. She wanted Savannah, Georgia. Somewhere fun, but not too far. I booked the Airbnb, made itineraries, set up rides, even got matching shirts for everyone. 8 of us total. Some were her college friends, a couple cousins, one girl from work, and me. Everything started out fine. We arrived Friday afternoon, unpacked, popped some bubbly, and had a chill night. Saturday was the big day. Brunch, shopping, a party bus, then clubbing at night. Saturday night is where it all went downhill. We were at our 3rd stop. Some trendy bar with low lights and overpriced drinks. The music was loud, people were dancing, laughing. Brooke was already drunk. Loud drunk, the kind where she starts pointing at people, telling embarrassing stories that aren't hers to tell. I'd seen it before, but never aimed at me. One of her work friends, a girl named Taylor, leaned across the booth and asked me, "So, are you seeing anyone?" I shook my head. Nope. Took a break from dating a while ago. Just focusing on myself. Before I even finished, Brooke stood up, almost knocking over her drink. She pointed at me, glass still in her hand, and shouted. Shouted, not joked. Nobody would ever want someone like her. The music didn't drown it out. In fact, the timing was awful. The song had just ended, and her voice cut through the room like a slap. Everything stopped. Even her friends, who were tipsy and laughing seconds before, froze. I just sat there. My heart felt like it stopped for a second. I didn't say anything. Couldn't. My face got hot, my hands shook under the table. Everyone else just kind of looked away. No one defended me. No one asked if I was okay. Brooke sat back down like nothing happened. Took another sip and laughed. I stayed silent for the rest of the night. A few of the girls tried to make small talk later, like they didn't just witness a public humiliation. But I couldn't pretend. I left early, said I had a headache, and walked back to the Airbnb alone. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling for over an hour. That line, "Nobody would ever want someone like her," it echoed in my head. Over and over. Like she'd finally said what she really thought of me, and it had just slipped out when she was drunk. Around 1:30 in the morning, the front door creaked open. I thought it was one of the girls coming back early. Then someone knocked on my door. It was Derek. I blinked, confused. He wasn't supposed to be there until Sunday. He said he drove up to surprise Brooke. But she wasn't home yet. Still out with the others. I asked if everything was okay. He looked nervous. Said he didn't want to wake anyone else. Just needed someone to talk to. I let him in. He sat on the edge of the couch in the Airbnb's living room. rubbed his hands together like he didn't know where to start. Then he said it. I don't think I can marry her. I stared at him. Thought I misheard. He looked at me and repeated it. Slower this time. I don't think I can do this. He told me everything. That Brooke wasn't the person she used to be. That behind closed doors, she treated him like dirt. Criticized everything, his job, his clothes, his friends. Said she mocked his mom in front of her once. He said he tried to talk to her, fix things, but she'd just laugh it off or twist it back on him. She's mean when no one's watching, he said. And I don't know why I stayed this long. Then came the part that knocked the wind out of me. You're the only person I feel like I can be honest with. I felt the floor shift under me. I didn't know what to say. Then he looked me in the eye and said, I think I'm in love with you. I should have been with you all along. I didn't cry. I didn't feel flattered. I just felt hollow. I didn't want Derek. I never had. I never flirted with him, never crossed a line. But at that moment it hit me. Brooke didn't insult me at that bar because she was drunk. She insulted me because somewhere deep down she knew.
She saw the way Derek looked at me.
The comfort in his voice when he talked to me. The small things. She saw it, and it scared her. Not because she loved him, but because she needed to feel above me. The next day, she acted like nothing happened. Like she hadn't screamed in my face in public. Like her fiancé hadn't confessed everything to me. I smiled, packed my bags, and went home. But I made a decision that morning. Brooke wasn't going to make it to her wedding day. And I wasn't going to stop until everyone saw her for who she really was. The Monday after the trip, I went back to work like nothing happened. But inside, something had snapped. I wasn't hurt anymore. I was angry. Not just at what Brooke said, but at the years I'd spent being her shadow. Her sidekick. Her silent support system. I saw it now, how she used me. How I was always the one driving her home, fixing her messes, hyping her up while she chipped away at my self-worth. And now her fiancé was telling me I was the only person he could talk to? I wasn't about to be her scapegoat and his backup plan. I didn't want Derek. But I wanted the truth to come out. And I was going to make damn sure it did. First, I did something small. Petty maybe, but controlled. Brooke's bridal shower was the following weekend. She wanted an all-white theme with candles, wine, and a slideshow of Brooke plus Derek's love story. She'd asked me to put the slideshow together. I kept my promise, but I added a few new photos. Photos she didn't know I had. One from a bar last year, Brooke leaning too close to a guy who wasn't Derek, hand on his chest, face inches from his. One from a girls' trip in Miami, where she bragged to us about making out with a bouncer while Derek was at a work conference. One of her texts she had sent me, screenshotted, clear as day, laughing about how Derek has no balls, but I'll take his money and shut him up. I slid them in between the engagement shoot pics. Just 3 shots. Hidden like little bombs. The shower was at her aunt's house. I showed up in a simple dress, smiling like always. The wine flowed. The candles flickered. Her mom gave a tearful toast. Then we dimmed the lights. I hit play. The first few photos were sweet. Her and Derek at the beach. Her showing off the ring. Everyone clapped, cooed, sipped wine. Then came the Miami photo. The room went quiet. A few confused faces turned toward me. Then the bar photo. Someone gasped. Her cousin whispered, "Wait, is that?" Then the text. Her actual words. Up on the screen for all her family and friends to read. Brooke stood up so fast she knocked her wine glass to the floor. She turned to me, her face white. "What the hell is this?" I smiled. "Your love story, remember?" She lunged at me, but her mom stepped in. Everyone was whispering now. Her aunt froze the slideshow. Her cousins looked stunned. Her little sister started crying. I walked out. That was just the start. 3 days later, I texted Derek. I told him I didn't want to get in the middle of anything, but he deserved to know who he was really about to marry. I told him I'd shared some of the things Brooke said about him over the years. He didn't seem surprised. What did surprise me was what he told me next. I hired a private investigator 3 weeks ago. I didn't respond right away. He said Brooke had been acting off, hiding her phone, being cagey about weekend plans. So he hired someone to follow her
Discreetly.
Turns out she wasn't just cheating emotionally.
She was sleeping with someone.
Not just anyone either. Her boss. A married man. I stared at my phone for a long time after reading that. I knew Brooke was selfish, but this was on another level. He said he had photos.
Proof.
And he wasn't sure what to do with them yet. I told him I had an idea. Derek and I met at a little coffee place just outside of town. Neutral ground. Quiet. I wasn't sure how this would go. I didn't want to become part of some messy triangle, but I also couldn't let Brooke keep faking her way through life while stepping on people like me. He brought a manila envelope. Old school. Inside were photos. Clear ones. Brooke walking hand in hand with a man I'd never seen before. Then kissing. Then leaving a hotel with him. Same hotel, different days.
He's her boss, Derek said.
Name's Ryan. Wife and 2 kids. I stared at the pictures, stomach tight. Derek looked exhausted. Not sad. Just done. I've got copies, he said. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. But she doesn't know I know. I looked at him and told him I had a way to make it public. Let everyone see Brooke for who she really was. I'm not trying to destroy her, he said. I am, I answered. And if you're smart, you'll let me. He didn't say no. That week, Brooke started damage control. I knew she would. Word had gotten around after the slideshow incident. She called me 3 times. I didn't pick up. She texted once, something short and bitter. You think you're better than me now? You'll always be alone. Don't forget that. I didn't reply. Instead, I sent an anonymous email to her company's HR department. It included 3 of the photos and a tip. One of their executives was having a long-term affair with a subordinate. It wasn't hard to figure out who. 3 days later, Brooke called me again. I didn't answer, but I saved the voicemail. She was crying. I got suspended. Ryan's wife showed up at the office. She had the photos. Someone sent them to her.
My job's on the line.
Derek won't return my calls. What did you do? I saved that voicemail too. But it still wasn't enough.
She had a perfect wedding planned.
Venue, dress, flowers. It was all set to happen in just over 2 weeks. I could have walked away. Let her spiral on her own. But I wasn't done yet. So I called the florist. Told them I was the bride's assistant. I said she'd decided to cancel the order. Elopement instead. They confirmed with an email, canceled the full arrangement. Then I called the bakery. Then the catering company. Each time, I gave them just enough info to make it believable. Used the same trick, said I was her planner. She was too stressed to deal with it. She wanted everything called off. By the end of the week, almost everything was undone. Then, I did something I didn't expect. I sent Brooke a message. Just 1 sentence. Check the venue reservation. A day later, she showed up at my door. I didn't answer, but I watched through the peephole. She banged her fist against it 3 times, then started yelling. You think this is gonna fix you? You think you're the good guy? You're pathetic. You're jealous. I didn't flinch. Didn't open the door. Later that night, Derek called me. She knows everything now.
About the PI.
The photos. The venue. Everything. Is she calling it off? He was quiet for a long time. Then, no. She wants to go through with it. Says she doesn't care anymore. She just wants the attention. I laughed. Bitter. Then we've got one more move to make. The wedding was still set to happen at the end of the month. Brooke scrambled to rebook everything. Paid double in rush fees. Got a backup florist. Found a new bakery. She even hired a friend of a friend photographer to shoot the ceremony. She wanted that perfect day so bad, she didn't care how fake it was. Derek didn't leave her. That part surprised me. When I asked him why, all he said was, because people like her can only fall when everyone's watching. So I gave him what he wanted. The wedding day came. It was at a fancy venue just outside Tallahassee. A white mansion with a lake and weeping willows, like something out of a magazine. She walked down the aisle in a fitted white dress, holding peonies she probably paid triple for at the last second. Everything looked perfect on the surface. But underneath?
Cracks.
Whispers. Everyone had heard something. Cousins talking in low voices. A bridesmaid side-eyeing her. Her aunt glaring at her with tight lips. Then the ceremony started. I was seated 3 rows back, alone. When the officiant asked if anyone had a reason these two shouldn't be married, the room held its breath. I stood up. Not dramatic, not loud. Just enough for people to notice. Brooke's head snapped toward me. Her eyes were wide.
Angry.
I didn't say anything. I just handed something to the usher. An envelope. Inside was a single sheet of paper. A printed transcript of Brooke's voicemail to me, plus a photo from the PI. The usher gave it to the officiant. He read it, face slowly falling. Then Derek spoke.
Loud. Clear.
I can't marry someone who treats people like garbage. Who cheats, lies, and uses everyone around her.
People gasped.
Brooke was frozen. Her mouth hung open, but no words came out. Derek stepped back from the altar. Your boss's wife sends her regards, he said, calm as ever. He turned and walked out. Silence. Brooke started yelling. What the hell is wrong with all of you? This is my day. This was supposed to be perfect. She looked straight at me. You think you won? You think this makes you better than me? I stood there, dead calm, and said what I'd been holding back for years.
No.
But at least I'm not fake. Then I left. That night, I sat on my porch alone with a glass of wine. I thought I'd feel lighter.
Free.
But I didn't. I felt empty. I'd spent weeks pulling strings, unraveling her life, exposing every dirty thing she'd done. And I had my revenge. But I didn't feel proud. Because the truth was, I let her hurt me for years. I let her use me, talk down to me, hide behind me. I gave her everything and asked for nothing back. And when she turned on me, I didn't walk away. I got even. That's not strength. That's just pain with sharp edges. I don't regret showing the truth.
People deserve to see it.
But I do regret letting it turn me cold. A week later, Brooke moved out of state. Rumor is she tried to start fresh somewhere in Texas. Derek went silent after the wedding. I never heard from him again. I stayed in Tallahassee. Got promoted at work. Cut ties with all the old group. I started therapy. I still don't date much. Still working on myself. But I don't let people like her close anymore. And if I ever hear someone say, nobody would ever want someone like her, I smile now. Because they have no idea how wrong they are.